I was saying. Really? Okay, fine. Okay, whatever. This is your host, Stephen Beck. Coming at you guys again. Raw and unscripted as always. So, if you guys are unfamiliar with this channel, I ask that you just bear with me. This channel isn't necessarily this channel's not a high-end channel. This channel isn't a popular channel. This isn't a well-known channel. This is a small channel that I'm just trying to grow, and so everything is appreciated. Likes, comments, subs. I honestly thought about doing this rant because I was actually watching someone else's channel, and I don't know if any of you guys actually relate to this type of instance, right? Where I'm just being honest. Okay, so this channel is usually a very transparent channel, and I'm really just gonna be honest about it. Like, a part of me does not like any person, because I am human, as evil as I can be sometimes, which would seem inhuman sometimes. I am a human being. Okay, so there's always this constant battle with parts of myself that does not care about anything. It doesn't give a crap. And then there's a human part of myself that is always not necessarily, sad to say, not in balance with other things. So it's always this constant back and forth sort of battle, like we all have, of having a conscience and then not caring at all. So it's some part of me doesn't like judgment, but then another part of me actually kind of, I would say, gets a huge laugh out of sheer shock value in judgment. People will say well, are you serious? They're like, are you effing serious? What in the world is this? Are you seriously doing this right now? What is this? And a small part of me thinks it's hilarious. It's absolutely friggin' hilarious, So the part of the shock value factor of this channel is just that. It's just shock value. For fun. Sometimes I'm serious. I'll seriously get into real rants. But I tend to think that sometimes I like to stay away from emotionally charged rants in a certain manner, because I feel like it just is kind of toxic. Regardless of if what I'm saying I think is true or not, sometimes it feels toxic because it's too emotionally charged, and sometimes, I feel like maybe sometimes people don't even want to hear you just complain or get angry about things, in a certain way. Maybe even if you're angry about it, try to say it in a way to where it's in a way to where maybe it's at least coming from a what's the word? A level-headed position. That's instead of just a sheer crazed war-like rage where you literally feel like you're going to hurt someone, or you feel like your first instincts is all these thoughts of hurting people. Because your first knee-jerk reaction is violent, because you just think okay, well, if these people are this or whatever, they're this out of control, then I feel like something bad needs to happen to them. I don't think that's really healthy to just jump to that. That's not healthy. You can disagree with people, but I feel like you start to spiral out of control when you get into a mode where how you're viewing people is through a lens of sheer, like, just sheer rage. Like, it's just so much rage that you feel like you're losing grips on yourself, actually. Like, you feel like you're just losing a total grip. And that's how I felt when I was listening to this rant. And I'm gonna, like, talk a little bit about this rant. Like, I'm not gonna mention the people's channel. I'm not gonna mention exactly who it was or anything, but it's just like, I got that feeling, which I've had this feeling before, of like, where I've talked about this before on this channel. How, now, believe it or not, haha, hee hee, it's like a joke in itself. There are people that are like myself that are out there that have similar beliefs, that, believe in similar things. That in certain communities, they are very dark. These people are dark. These people, and I'm not talking about black like myself, like haha hee hee. I'm not saying that. Like, I mean, these people have dark souls, no pun intended. Like, these people are not, how do I say this? Are not evil in the sense that they're senselessly just evil. No, they realize that there are necessary evils, and they've made a decision to peer into something that some people think is really, really dark, and thinks that, like, they just should not go there because something is just telling them that it's just they don't want to live with it, or they don't want to be that person or whatever, or they don't want to they just don't want to be that person, I seen a video on YouTube, and this is not what I was so mad about, but I seen a couple of videos. I seen videos where people that were of the left-hand path in the actual black magic, were like, what's it called, converting into Christians, and they were like claiming that, oh, well, I left the occult because this, I left the cult because that, people can die, like, people say, okay, I left because someone died, or this, in my family, or this or that, or whatever, and they blame it on a demon, or they blame it on this, or they blame it on that, and then, like, I have a couple things to say about some of those things. Like, for instance, one, now, you can claim that a negative occurrence is the fault or cause of something, which it actually may be. But you also have to realize that if you knowingly were involved in something that you knew that a price had to would have to be paid, let's just keep it real, guys, that a serious price would have to be paid for something, and you just know that that is going to play itself out in some form or fashion, I mean, you kind of, it's like, do you know what you're getting into, right? So you have to be emotionally prepared. It's like, you kind of know what this is, right? Then also you have to realize, okay, now, was this person actually killed? Like, or did they commit, let's say, suicide or another thing? And I'm not trying to be, like, just disrespectful or I'm not trying to downgrade and invalidate people's feelings. I'm not doing that, because that's retarded. Like, everyone has feelings, you know what I mean? All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is, how serious what were your reasons that you're involved in this? Because my question is, a person like myself, from my perspective, lives a certain life that if you knew what I had to go through every day that I get up, simply because the lack of resources, like the fact that I don't have a vehicle, the fact that it's so hard to even try to save money, it's so hard to manage time, because people actually literally think that a job should work. They think that a straight, black, healthy, strong, single man should somehow, what's the word? They think the more hours you work equals, okay, the more money you're gonna make. And they don't realize that you're a human being. You're not some robot that doesn't have any ambitions or any other wants other than making your money. It's just the money is a means to an end because you need to make money to do anything. You get what I'm saying? You to meet women and to meet people to network with, you have to have the transportation to do it. But then you also have to realize that it's an extreme struggle and a shot in the dark and a gamble to even think that certain jobs, like, you're going to put in so many draining hours, and you're gonna, like, that's part of it. But the thing is, there's a limit, and then there's an emotional, mental area there where it's like, how are you managing, like, just being a slave? How are you managing literally being a slave? You know what I mean? How are you managing that in between? You get what I'm saying? How do you manage leaving your house at an hour to where you barely even see real sunlight? Like, you actually literally leave, and then by the time you get back, it's dark. Your most active part of the days is you're indoors and it's dark and it's actually cold. How do you manage that? So this is my question. Is like, where you grow up, where do you come from, and in your head you already should have a. Because let me put it to you like this, man. When you get angry enough and you get fed up enough with everything around you, this may sound cynical or sound evil in itself, but you really start to, like, count your priorities. And sometimes, I hate to say it, but people do not fall into a high category sometimes of the priority of you versus, like, someone else, this, that, the third, this other person. It's like, okay, you're already screwed. It's like your life is already hell. So pretty much how I look at it is like this, and people look at me like, oh, well, you're just a nasty person. Like, you're just a low vibrational person, low vibrational being, this, that, and the third. First, and I'm not trying to make excuses for myself, but look, have you looked in my mirror? I'm black, if you haven't noticed. It's not exactly just so easy, first off, for me to be a high anything. You understand? It's like I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth in a gated community, and I'm some attractive, more marketable, more desired, more this, that, white person, and I'm not pulling that card either. Like, I'm not saying, like, that has so much to do with everything, but it has more to do with anything than you think, first off. And I'll give you some examples. So for one, the dating game, if you want to call it, right? It's way more likely, just all across the board on a scale, that any woman from any race would be more attracted to a Caucasian male. It's already harder. It's like, my race, phenotype, whatever. It's like, I may get a plus because what? Because I'm 6'2"? You know what I mean? So it's like, so I'm above the average height or whatever. Just kind of above average height or whatever. So it's like, that's one big plus. Like, because a lot of women, just for some dumb reason, want a man that is probably my height or taller. You know what I mean? So it's like, at least I hit that mark. But you guys gotta really understand shit. Like, it's just not. You have to realistically look at all the things around you and then make a decision. Like, is it really about you not wanting to be this quote person, or is it that you actually want things and you're going to get them? Like, it's just not. This isn't a game anymore. This is not about. I kind of look at it like this. I look at it like, people may be able to find this weird place that I don't know how to call it, but it's like, whenever I hear about stories like this, I feel like, I don't know how you wound up in that position. You know what I mean? Like, because if you were so deep into some other things and you were so into that, like, there's ways that you could have finessed your way into a place that you had a happy state. And they always come at me, not at me personally, but on these videos, they come with these like crazy stories, these crazy vibes. They're on some crap like I'm trying not to curse with this, but I mean it's 18 plus rant, so whatever. But I'm trying to not curse. But you guys got this energy like you're like I was so depressed. Oh, the demons were making me so I'm like, what demons were making, like, are you take no accountability, first off. You don't take no, like, I'm thinking, like, you mean to tell me that a demon can help you do this and do all this bad stuff, but you mean to tell me you are, being an adept occultist, cannot petition that demon or said demons to do it? Like, you can't be like, hey, you know what, guys, I really need. It's supposed to be like, did you just laugh and just pop a fart out at the same time on a rant on YouTube? The F I just did, you know, whatever. But you know, that's beside the point. But look here, guys. You guys know, some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you need to tell me that you didn't have the sense. I hate to say it like that, but you didn't have the sense in your head to maybe take some time to relax and say, put everything on pause and say, oh, well, whoa, wait a minute, wait 1 second. I want this like this. You know what I mean? Like, I want this. These are some things that I'm putting on, like, I'm putting on the table. I want this done, that done, and the third done, because this is what I'm petitioning you for. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and it's not disrespectful. It's just like, this is what I want. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I did this for you. I did that. But get this. But I want this. And like, you can do that. You know, right? You don't have to be like, I tread lightly and be respectful. But also, you can do just that, right? Like, how are you not doing that? I don't. Maybe you were. But I hate this. Something just burns me up about this idea where people always blame they always blame outside forces for, like, certain things. I'm thinking, like, so you mean to tell me it just doesn't make sense? It's like, how are you being influenced to a degree to where you were so depressed? Like, it doesn't make sense. If someone is, or something is needing you as a tool, as a pair of hands, as this, as that, is in, so on and so forth. What, you mean to tell me that it's also trying to make you depressed, or it's trying to pull you in a direction to where you are negatively impacted at the same time? It doesn't make sense. Even Christians have a stupid scripture where they say, you know, oh, well, a house divided against itself can't stand, which is true, right? So it's like, it doesn't make sense. If I'm trying to make someone work, make things happen, I'm not sabotaging them at the same time. So you get what I mean? Now, it's another thing when you guys do talk about these, like, pacts or whatever. Well, look here. You sign up for something. This is my whole thing. If you sign up for something and literally the small print is, okay, where you're gonna be taken out of here, or someone is gonna go, then you better be ready for it. It's like, I just can't. I hate it all. I hate it. I'm sorry, guys, but I hate it. That's why I get so angry, because I'm thinking, like, first off, if someone was to give me a ticket out of this world, I would take it pretty fast. I'd be like, okay. I'd look my life over, I'd say, okay, do I have X amount of money? Have I accomplished X amount of things? Do I like certain things I've created? Do I really, deep down myself, my soul, feel like I'm cutting myself short if I don't try to, like, push and live on and do this and that? And I have to look at it and I think, like, I know some things that are on the other side. In fact, my journey could be way more freer. And I'm thinking, like, you gotta weigh all that out, bro. I'm thinking, like, what? My whole thing is this, is like, I know we're all different, and I can't judge people really, like, because it's extremely arrogant for me to be able to try to really judge or wrap my head around any of that nonsense. But I just know it's not me. It's just so not me. That's why I get so angry, because I'm thinking, like, this is foolishness. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, what's going on with this, man? And then that was a going way off on a tangent, because really what really angered me was this video where it's these people sitting around, and they're talking about, oh, well, the Sasquatch this and the Sasquatch that, and my native people said they're all bad because of this, and they, they're the what do they say? They said something like, basically they're the matriarch, sort of like first old, and I'm leaving a lot out because I'm really not trying to out these people, because I'm not trying to be an a-hole, and I'm not trying to like bash on them, because I just feel like that's just kind of dumb. Like, why am I going to be down talking and bashing